Welcome back, everybody. Algorithm versus experts. I am your sleepless sharp. Professor Violence is in the house tonight. We are going to talk about UFC 288. We're going to give you a couple hidden gems. We're going to break down the main card and give you our thoughts, predictions, and betting picks. Professor Violence, how are you feeling today?
Man, all my life, people have told me 1 + 1 = 2.
2.
And when I had my second child, I am here to tell you it does not. 1 + 1 seems to equal 11.
Love it.
Now I have a third child. Look, it's a baby.
Congratulations. Oh, there he is.
Dude, it's like 10. You have like 10% less energy to do like every task that you want to do. I'm feeling 10% less of me is how I'm feeling.
Wow.
No matter what I was going to do, he took 10% of that energy going there. Right? But I promise people, I was starting at 147. I got 136 left. 1 point drifts. Nice.
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah, it's last week UFC. Pretty weak card. If you hit us up, we did have a really amazing pick last week, Jamie Lynn Horth. That worked out really well, and didn't have much else for that card. But we do have a few hidden gems, I think, this week that stick out. This card kind of lost. What's up?
She beat the shit out of her opponent, right?
She won unanimous, but
I'm thinking of the Stephanie Egger fight. Did you see the Stephanie Egger's opponent?
I did.
Dude, I watched that fight 3 times.
I like that fight.
I can't even think of what her name is right now. I'm looking it up.
Alexieva.
Yeah, that fight was dope. Irina Alexieva.
Yes.
That girl fights like a freaking whirlwind, constantly spinning in circles. That was super dope.
I liked her.
Really, really rare.
Her leg entry. I liked her leg entry. It was good, and I think it was the second knee bar in women's MMA history. It was something fucking ridiculous. Like they said it on the air.
Yeah. The one of Carolina got knee barred by Priscilla Kach. No.
Oh, Lipsky.
Ariane Lipsky. I know that one. But yeah, so knee bars are pretty rare. It was really, really impressive that she was able to do that. Additionally, the Cody Durden versus Charles Johnson fight was a smorgasbord of beautiful grappling. Oh my God, those two can grapple. Dude, when Cody Durden first got here, you were on the Cody Durden train, and you were telling me that I was on the train too. And I was like, I don't understand why you keep telling me I have a ticket to ride. Homie, I'm here to tell you I found my ticket. Cody Durden, let's go. And Charles Johnson's a bad motherfucker in grappling.
Yeah, he's really good. He fought. I know he lost unanimously, but Charles Johnson hasn't had a boring fight or a bad performance in the UFC, in my opinion.
He's murderer's row.
He's pretty good.
His opponents have been nuts.
They're all tough. Yeah, he's all tough, and he finished the one fight that was questioned. His opponent was questionable. Jimmy, he finished that fight pretty quick. So, yeah, Charles Johnson definitely needs some respect.
Yeah. All right. Enough talking about old shit.
Nah, gotta catch up, man. See what's going on. All the good shit. So this card, this card lost a lot of firepower, especially like the Oliveira Dariush fight. There's been other cancellations and changes due to injuries and stuff, but I think this is a really good card. I think there's a lot of good fights on this card. It may not have the names of star power names for a pay-per-view, but I think this is a really good fight card. From top to bottom, from the early prelims to everything, I think there's some bangers on this card. So I dug deep for hidden gems, and I've been toying with things, and I am I'm gonna be a crazy guy this week, and going to I'm going to be underdog heavy with the prelims, early prelims. Um, I really think, God, he always burns. I mean, he just does so many stupid things in an octagon. But I really think Joseph Holmes, the ugly man, has so many avenues to victory over Claudio Ribeiro. I think Phil fucking Hall's. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna regret Phil Hall's again. Phil Hall's money. I think Phil Hall's at plus 250 against Aliskerov. I mean, God, I don't. I think that's
Don't do
Phil
that.
Hall is 100% takedown defense. Okay,
Taking,
I don't know if that's really 100%
you're taking
takedown defense, but the man is strong and he can wrestle. I don't know. I think he's got a shot. The one that so I do like some underdogs early on the pre. I think the one that sticks out though. I mean, I got it. I know the line has cratered people. Marina Rodriguez opened up about minus 180. She went up to minus 250. Today she was like minus 130, and I can't fucking figure out why. Nor will we get the information why. I mean, I've seen all of their fights. I followed their careers. I mean, I don't see how Virna could ever be the favorite in this fight. I mean, is Marina pregnant or something? Like, do we not know something? Is she 20 pounds overweight? Like, what the fuck's going on here? Marina Rodriguez has only lost to elite competition. I mean, Marina Rodriguez was minus 200 against Amanda Lemos, who I think can still be the strawweight champions one day. And okay, she got caught and she got knocked out, but she did a lot of good things. Virna's extremely grapple heavy. Um, I Her wrestling just doesn't back up her ground game though to me. Um, can she get Marina down? Okay, Marina always gets up though. Marina survives submissions. No, Mackenzie Dern couldn't submit her. I'm pretty confident that Virna isn't going to submit her. Angela Hill survived Virna. And Marina is just a world's better striker to me. Also, go back to the Hebos fight. Virna, when she had a good round, couldn't get a submission. She was totally gassed after that. Totally gassed for rounds 2 and 3 against somebody putting the pressure on striking. So I think Virna's developed as a striker, but it's nowhere near Marina. Marina's going to light her up. I mean, I don't know what's up with this line, so I still got to back Marina Rodriguez as not late as minus 130. So that's my hidden gem for a bigger bet.
A couple of problems here with Marina Rodriguez versus Verna Jandiroba. Jandiroba gets hit more than she lands, which is an issue, especially since she's a grappler.
Yeah.
The value of grappling is taking away your opponent's ability to do damage to you. If you are still getting hit more than you are hitting, you are not doing something right. That being said, Marina Rodriguez gets taken down. And I see that she has a 65% takedown defense, and that is good. It's not great, but it is good. But like when you look at the people who've taken her down, it shouldn't have gone the way that it did.
But see, I've seen all before, but not to interrupt. Like I've seen all of her fights in detail, and people are constantly trying to take her down because they can't compete with her on the feet. So if you go 2 for 10 against her, and she gets back up eventually, like that's not really like. You didn't really like. She holds her own with her takedown defense.
I agree that her takedown defense is good, right? But Yan Xiaonan is not a world-class wrestler. She scored 2 for 4.
Yes.
Kenzie Dern is an atrocious wrestler.
Yes.
And she scored 1.
1 out of 5 rounds. That's not.
Oh, it was 5 rounds? Okay.
Yeah. So Zhao Nanyan, yes. Marina lost that first round, and she was totally didn't expect the takedowns, and she was overextending, and her coach, she actually ended up winning that fight, split decision, which was a great fight. I thought she could have lost that fight. It was close, but yeah, she definitely got taken down, but she always gets back up. and
Yeah.
she doesn't take damage.
She doesn't get finished. She doesn't she does really, really well. She does always but the girls that Genji-Oba beats are the girls that she's able to take down.
Yes.
Right. So Carla Esparza, she took Carla Esparza down 3 times, but Carla took her down 4 times, and Carla won. She takes down Mallory Martin 3 times, wins that fight. Takes down Felice Herrig, submits her. Takes down Mackenzie Dern, but Mackenzie outgrapples her.
Yes.
Knockout against whoever this other girl is. Loses to Amanda Ribas because Amanda Ribas outgrappled her.
No, that was mostly. That was mostly strike. That was mostly. She couldn't. Virna got gassed out of that. Virna took her down.
Yes, it was one. They both scored 1 takedown.
Yeah.
Right. And it ended up being more on the feet than anything else.
Yeah.
They kind of neutralized each other's grappling ability. All right.
Yeah.
So she lost that one, and then Angela Hill outgrapples Angela Hill.
Yeah, she won that pretty good. But Angela, Angela got, she got worked in the thing, but she didn't get submitted.
Yeah, she's not going to finish Marina Rodriguez by any means. But the girls that she takes down, she tends to win those matches. I don't know, man. I guess I see what you're saying. What was the line again?
Right now, minus 130.
I'm seeing minus 165 and minus.
Yeah, it might. You see it some, but today it went down to as low as minus 130, and I just think that's over the opening line and like the value you're getting for. Marina Rodriguez. It's something. She shouldn't be this low. So something is telling me that yes, something she's going to lose. I don't know what it is like, but
what do you mean she shouldn't be that low?
She's ranked 5th. She's never had a bad performance. She lost to an absolute killer who could, just like her, I think, challenge for the title one day. She just got caught and in a fight where she did really well. She was doing good in that fight in the first. It was a good fight. I haven't seen any decline in her in anything, and I think she's fighting just such a one-dimensional person. If Virna can't take her down, she's never winning this fight. She's going to get blown out.
I agree with all of what you're saying, and all of that is the reason that you believe she shouldn't be that low, but I still don't know what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
More gambly. Less why, literally what? What do you mean she shouldn't be that low?
So in the beginning, I meant she opened minus 180, which I think, okay, that's fair. She's like this and that. Then she went up to minus 250, and now she's cratered. So I feel she should be about minus 250 in this fight. With Virna's dangerous. She's a dangerous grappler. But her taking down Marina and being able to do the things grapple-wise to win this fight, I think, are highly improbable. So I think Marina wins this fight way more of the time than minus 130. I think she wins this fight 70% of the time, when the line says she wins about 58% of the time.
Okay. Got you. See, I don't know what the numbers mean enough.
Yeah.
I know that this is. I look at this and I see, they think this is an even fight.
Yeah, right. And it didn't. Right. It didn't open like that. The books think no, Marina Rodriguez is the favorite, but there's sharp bettors out there who are on your train and they're betting substantially because that's a big drop. So
that's a big drop.
Huge. That's a huge drop. Yeah, it went down almost from minus 250 to minus 130. That's gigantic. That makes me think there's an injury at play. Like these are things we've seen in the past where it comes out and then, something happens, they come out and, they're really hampered. Like something's wrong. Like something's going on. Like that's a gigantic drop.
100 points is a big drop. I mean, I guess
that's really substantial. So actually, with that being said, man, maybe, I don't have any bets yet. So something's telling me not to pull the trigger, but that's my hidden gem. I'll see what happens. Maybe it's so shady. I don't think I can bet it.
All right. I don't think that Virna Gendiroba can finish Marina Rodriguez. I think that it is entirely plausible that she wins by unanimous decision. If you look at her record, I'm pretty sure she wins mostly decisions anyways. Actually, she submits most girls. She's got 13 submissions and only 4 decision victories.
She's awesome on the ground.
It's just okay. Yeah, I don't think she's going to submit. If these other
Agreed.
girls,
Agreed.
yeah,
We have no reason to think she'll submit her. Yeah.
yeah, definitely bet on it going to decision because Marina Rodriguez also doesn't finish girls. Like you see her and she hits so hard and she looks like a world beater,
Yeah.
but under Amanda Ribas, she hasn't finished anybody in the UFC.
Yeah. No, yeah,
Uh,
she's more volume and volume BO. Yeah, it's not like outwardly power like Lemos has. Stupid
yeah,
power.
yeah. So this is you should bet on this fight going to decision. Honestly, I'm leaning a touch towards Verna,
Mm-hmm.
but I totally get everything you're saying. And I
Yeah.
would like if I was putting money on it, I think I'd put it on Marina.
No, you can
But
bet it to go to decision. You can bet that. That's a good bet.
it's close enough to. Oh yeah, you should definitely bet on that. You should definitely bet on it going
Yeah,
to
you can bet
decision.
on that.
Only an injury would cause it not to.
Mm,
And I mean, that can be a brain
yeah.
injury.
No, well, that if that happens, but we don't see the finish happening. So
Yeah. But I mean, it could be a headbutt cut, like weird
oh
shit.
yeah, yeah, you can't count for that. That's just
Like,
those are irregularities.
on
Yeah.
paper. Yeah. All right. So, what is our next fight?
We're gonna go right to this. We're gonna go this main card. Kick it off. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 5 fights. These are good. These are 5 good fights. And we can tell you why because I'm gonna start with kicking off. It's gonna be Crone Gracie. Fuck you in. And Charles Jourdain. Crone Gracie. So yes, everyone's going to recognize the last name. He was in the UFC before. I remember he was a huge favorite against Cub Swanson. I think it was one of the cards that the UFC was still spitting out. Yeah, the UFC was still spitting out cards, trying like in quarantine. They were like the last sport running before they shut down, and Cub beat him up for 3 rounds. And then he just stopped fighting. I don't think he stopped training, but he stopped fighting and relocated. I've read that he's had a lot of personal issues with his dad and things about how he wants to approach his fight career, and he didn't want. And then didn't want to fight anymore. So I'm not sure. And now he's back, and he's getting Charles Jourdain, who I mean we've seen very active, over the past at least 3 years. The guy's dangerous. He's all action. He can throws a ton of strikes. He goes in there to finish you. With that being said, I think what makes this matchup really intriguing is you can take Charles Jourdain down. He does get taken down often in his fights. He's really hard to submit. He is a black belt in BJJ. But I've seen 2 of his fights where he has defended chokes and things pretty well. I think he gives up you can get his back. He's a little bit reckless. It's his style in general. So he gets his back taken a decent amount of time. But I think it's a pretty interesting. I'm interested to see what the fuck happens in this fight.
Is Charles Jourdain a willing grappler?
He'd rather strike.
Yeah, but like those some guys drop you and they follow you. Some guys drop you and they ask you to get back up. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You take some guys down and they scramble with you. You take some guys down, they fight like everything they have to get out of that. You take some
he won't do. I don't. He's not that. He's. I think he's more on the engaging side personally.
Okay.
The only time I seen him do that was against Burgos round 3 when his coach told him he needed a knockout to win, and he was actively disengaging and crushing. He was lighting Burgos up. It's the only time I seen Burgos stunned, but he lost that fight by decision anyway.
Oh, yeah, that was his last fight. That was Burgos' last fight in the UFC.
Yeah, it was. And then Jourdain took a short notice fight, and he lost that as well.
Charles Jourdain absolutely can tear Crone Gracie to pieces.
Mm.
But
I agree.
He's a wild man. And if he is willing to grapple with Crone, and Crone has been working on the philosophies that govern his strategy, strategy for combat. He has changed his strategy. And he can, man, if this gets to the ground, Crone Gracie's as good as it gets.
Okay.
Like, the only people who have like greatest of all time type arguments beat Crone Gracie in jiu-jitsu.
Oh, wow.
He's really that good. He almost beat Marcelo Garcia in one of the craziest matches ever. Like, he's just, it doesn't really get better than Crone.
Okay.
And the Gracies are madmen, so they'll just take damage. Like, watching what he did against Cub, if it goes to the ground and Charles thinks he's just gonna beat him up on the ground, and that's how he's gonna defend all these submissions, and he's gonna beat him up from his guard. Like, man, I've never seen his type of jiu-jitsu in MMA before. Right? He had some fights in Ryzen, and all of them, he does like fundamental shit in the most amazing ways. He doesn't do the things that you and I are told we should be doing from day one. And all the things, no. He does only the things we've been taught to do on day one, and doesn't do all the things we learned to do at year 2. Doesn't do any of it. Only does the stuff that you learned on day 1. But the way he applies it is incredible. Incredible. He's absolutely worth your time. And I really, really hope that he has figured out whatever he needs to make a show of himself in the UFC. Because what he brought last time was not good. Charles Jourdain probably wins this fight, but if Crone Gracie wins this fight, Crone Gracie's going to do some good shit.
Well, I mean, Charles Jourdain opened up minus 250 for this fight, which I thought was really fair, and then he's gone down a lot. So I think he's about minus 175, something now, 170, 175. So people are backing Gracie. I just don't know if they're just backing Gracie because of the name, or his Crone didn't look very good in his UFC that UFC fight. He looked like just like a lost, just like a jiu-jitsu guy that was like, let me try an MMA fight and see how I can do.
That is really what that looked like. And he had been training for a while before he had his first MMA fight. Like, dude, he's really, really, really good. But just
can he take? Yeah, I guess can he close the distance? Can he take Jourdain down? He might not need many takedowns. I've seen Jourdain defend well, but I don't know what the approach is going to be from Crone. How's he going to get him down?
I'm going to pick not Crone. I just forgot his name. Charles Jourdain.
Ooh, wow.
But yeah,
I thought you were going to pick Crone. I would have bet that you were going to pick Crone.
And yeah, that would be smart. But like, I want Crone to win. I really want Crone to win, and I want Crone to like do
the
crazy.
The fact that a BJJ uber nerd like you isn't picking Crone tells me that he doesn't have much of a shot to win this fight.
Oh no, he fought like Royce Gracie, man. Like, unless he's learned how to wrestle he either needs to learn how to wrestle or he needs to do a thing like Ryan Hall.
Yeah, I was thinking. I was going to ask. I forgot to ask that. I don't think he's that guy, though, right?
No, he's not.
No, he's not going to do that. Yeah,
I'm not. Whatever he does is not going to look like Ryan Hall, but he came in with the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu 101 strategy, which is conceptually very sound. It is a good idea, but man, it doesn't work in modern mixed martial arts. It's a good, like, when you write a paper and they tell you to make an outline and then fill in the details, In the time when no one could fill in the details, the Gracie blueprint was one of the most powerful outlines imaginable.
Mm.
But now we all know how to fill in the details.
Mm.
And he didn't fill in the details. He just has this outline. So if he can figure out some way, like Ryan Hall follows the same outline.
Hmm.
Right? Like he follows the same general principles of jiu-jitsu. He is a jiu-jitsu first person. But if Crone thinks he's going to just do it with jiu-jitsu alone, like I've heard some of the Gracies, and I don't believe this is Crone, say that all you need is jiu-jitsu. Don't learn other martial arts, just do more jiu-jitsu. And that doesn't work here.
No.
We are past the point where we are working on what is effective in self-defense. We are now again at a point of what works in the sport of mixed martial arts. Just like jiu-jitsu is going away from self-defense, we're doing stuff that doesn't make sense in a self-defense scenario anymore. Right?
Sure.
I think the game has evolved past what Crone Gracie will allow it to do. Now, if he's done ayahuasca in the desert, he gonna fuck Charles Jourdain up.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what he does. I don't know. I don't know who he's trained with or what he's been doing. I mean, I really don't know.
He used to be with the Diaz brothers.
That's true. He used to roll with them, and he was very he wasn't a quiet dude in that crowd. He was pretty brash outright. He wasn't just following them around. He was pretty game for stuff.
He's an outspoken guy.
Yeah, I'm interested to see this. Like he's been on this layoff. What's he been doing, or what's the thing? But I think, I do think, like we said, I think it's a good opponent. Like I could see, like like he has that little window of like maybe he can get this guy down and do something. Yeah, we'll see. But he's also been away for a while. You don't know how serious is he? Like, why is he fighting? Does he just not want the window to close because of age? Does he need money? You don't know any of that.
He doesn't need money.
No, really?
Yeah. He's never had a job in his life. Like, he's literally never had a job.
That's cool. Good for him.
Yeah, he's been teaching jiu-jitsu since he was 14.
Yeah, well, that's a job, like grappling full time. So he's been a pro athlete in a sense, right?
Yeah, but I mean, like, he's never had another job other than teaching jiu-jitsu.
Right. I'm sure he makes money from the gyms and stuff. Like, yes, I guess, or I don't know how the Gracie lineage works. Like, I don't know how like the money gets split up amongst the family or whatnot. I have no idea.
It doesn't. They argue.
They argue. It's not like the name, like so they're just like opening gyms under their own names and like trying to all for themselves. It's not like the Native Americans that own casinos in America where like it just gets dispersed throughout the families through generations, and like when every kid turns 19 they get $1 million. This is Gracie Jiu-Jitsu is every man for themselves, every or female.
One Gracie sued another Gracie for using the name Gracie.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. Stop.
Henner's dad sued Clark Gracie's dad for the use of the triangle and the term Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. And the judge decided that Carly Gracie, that's his name, Carly, Carly, Carly Gracie could use the name Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, but the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu triangle was trademarked. He could not use that. But they couldn't stop him from calling it Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. So, is it all in the family? No. But if you talk shit to a Gracie, all of them will come down on you. They don't like any of each other. They will all come down to you. Not like.
That's so funny. We don't like each other. But we won't let you.
Hickson was disown Henner when he started giving out black belts on the internet. when he learned about that, he had like a private conversation with them, and like they were gonna be like cut off or something like that. And he like went to the rest of the family, but like he openly called them a. Somebody asked Hickson what he thought about that. No. Someone asked Carlson Gracie what he thought about the Gracie brothers, Henner and Huron, giving out belts on the internet. And Carlson Gracie Jr. goes, "My cousins? Those idiots? Don't listen to what the fuck they're talking about." Right? Like this is just how they. Anyways.
Yeah, that's how they roll. All right, it's good. It's good. Good info. Next fight. Bummed on this one because Bryce Mitchell just got pulled, but Evelev
today.
He got pulled today. Evelev stayed on. He got a really late opponent, Diego Lopez. No one put a line out for this fight, and I can see why, because this is a fucking gigantic mismatch. Jesus, I don't know. I assume Evelev is going to be like minus 500 or something ridiculous. Diego Lopez, if you never heard of him, he fights mainly out of Mexico. He had a contender series fight. It didn't go too well, but he's still been grinding on regional scenes and grappling tournaments. But his last two fights, he beat a 10-10 opponent and a 10-8 opponent on a Mexican pro circuit. So he's stepping in and just trying to hit a home run here. I mean, Evelev might be ridiculous. There might not even be a line for him. I don't know. Usually somebody puts a line out. No one spit a line out. This is going to be, I was looking forward to see Evelev and Mitchell, but we're not going to be able to see that. So I don't know. I mean, Evelev is going to steamroll this guy most likely. It's just going to be something to watch. I don't know. I don't really have much to say about it.
You should absolutely bet on Evelev. It's unlikely this guy's prepared for this fight, but what this fight will do is it'll get him into the UFC. This is typically how this is the best way to get into the UFC. It's actually better than going on the Contender Series. The Contender Series gives you a shitty contract, and if you come in on short notice, you get a better contract.
Mm-hmm.
So you make more money, even if you lose your first fight, that now they owe you a favor, so they won't really cut you off of the first one. This guy, like when you look at his record, so like you said, 10-10, 10-8, those are the last two opponents. And then he lost in a split decision to a guy who was 8-3. Like, okay, that's a decent opponent. Lost a decision to Joe Anderson Brito, who I thought only knocked people out or lost. I didn't know he could win decisions. Yeah, he's only been to decision 3 times. And anyways, it's interesting. He must be durable, which is good for him if he made it to decision with Brito. But there's no real reason, unless you're like in his camp, know the guy personally, can match. And Brazilians don't match against wrestlers like this that well. And you can see the way that Evelev bobs his head to get outside of the line of punches looks the same as when he shoots, right? And then he'll be inside dodging punches and he'll roll his head, but he doesn't roll it like a boxer. He rolls it like a wrestler. So it's his level of wrestling is just going to smash this guy.
Mm-hmm.
I was very excited to see how he would match up with
I want to see that too.
But hey, he just got himself a free fight, basically.
Yeah.
Nobody's a free fight. He's like everybody with 2 hands, but
he's been taking his time to fight like a really good opponent, and he finally stepped up to. Well, I mean, he fought Danny Ige. Now he's stepping up again, and now we'll see. He'll be back soon, I'm sure. Next fight, this is a good one too. Jess Andrade and Zhao Nine, the nickname. I love the nickname. I'm a fan of both of these girls. I think this is strawweight. This is going to be a strawweight fight, I believe. But Jess Andrade has been fighting at flyweight again, right?
She goes everywhere. I think that last fight was just because it was short notice.
The
Blanchfield?
Yeah.
She picked up Blanchfield on short notice. That's why I was at 25.
At flyweight. Okay, and now she's back to
Yeah.
so
Oh
her
no, Murphy's at 25 too. Lauren Murphy, that win was at 25.
and Lemos, that was 125 too, right?
Ramos was 25.
Yeah, so she was on that
Leo
kick
was
of she
25.
was
Yeah.
flyweight. I think she wanted to make a flyweight. She was trying to make a flyweight run. Now she's going back to strawweight to pick this fight up. Relatively short, right? It's only been 2 months. Jeez. And she's gonna go back down and fight Zhao Nan.
I think she believes she has a better chance against Weili Zhang than she does against Valentina.
Maybe she wasn't. She didn't like her performance against Blanchfield, and I don't blame her. She was fucking terrible in my opinion that night. Just coming winging, no striking defense, no defense on the ground. It wasn't one of her better nights. But whatever, credit to Aaron Blanchfield for just getting it done again. I like Zhao. I love Zhao Nan. I don't know. She's impressive to me. She can throw hands. Her striking is really good. It's really fast. Does she have knock you out power? No. But she can really move, and I think that frustrates somebody like Jess Andrade, that when she can't come be the aggressor, she's got to chase you down and try to throw those winging shots. I think that's what gets under her skin a little bit. She kind of implodes a little bit that way. But Jess Andrade is powerful, and she's just fought everyone. Even at 115, Jan had that terrible performance against Carla where she just looked like she had no idea how to grapple. She's been training grappling consistently ever since then, and I think it showed off pretty good against Mackenzie Dern, because her submission defense was the best I've ever seen out of her. Get up game was good too. Could have been a little better, but she was focused. She's still learning. So different kind of opponent here. Just Andrade takes you down. She's just going to try to pummel you. So that's worrisome. But I think Jan has a shot in this fight. What do you think?
At first, I thought Jan had a shot because she's got good hands, but I think that her style of boxing is wrong to deal with Jessica Andrade.
Could be, yeah, definitely.
She tries to play it at range, and I don't think that she's very good in the pocket. And I don't think she's good enough at fighting off the back foot, meaning fighting while she's backing up. She likes to back up, set a distance, fight from that distance.
Right.
Jessica Andrade likes to chew up distance and stay in your face.
Yeah.
So there's a certain type of fighter that can maintain distance while fighting. There's another type of fighter that has to create distance and maintain that while they fight, right? So there's one that can fight while they move, and another one that has to move, fight, move. I don't believe her to be the type that can fight on the move, and I don't believe that she's going to be able to stand her ground and demand the respect of Jessica Andrade. So I don't see a clear path to victory for Yan Jianan. Jianan Yan? Nan Jianan. Yao Yan Jian. What is it actually? Because now I'm just
Zhao Nan
Jianan. I genuinely struggle with that, and then I started messing around and then forgot which one the real one was. Anyways, Zhao Nan Yan. I boxing seems like the way to beat Jessica Andrade, that or takedowns. But I don't think that her game is styles make fights. I don't think her style is the right one to take out Jessica Andrade. So I got Andrade.
All right. Yeah, I can see that too. I'm struggling there, so I think I'm going to lean on Andrade as well. I think Jan can win the fight, but I don't think you're getting the best odds on that. I think it's a lot more unlikely than that. I mean, it's tough, but I think it's going to be a good fight to watch. I mean, probably not betting it, but I think it's a good one to watch. Co-main event, another good fight. So Bilal Muhammad and Gilbert Burns both are deserving of that title shot, in my opinion.
Crazy.
Both guys aren't going to get it in the meantime because Colby was scheduled to fight Leon, and then Leon said, "Fuck y'all, I'll fight in the fall. I'm taking some time off." and it looks like Colby's still going to get that shot against Leon regardless. So you know what? These guys decided, let's just bang it out and get that. See who fights for the belt when the time comes. If Leon's on the shelf for longer, they'll get an interim shot against Colby. You know, like the UFC said, Colby's getting that shot, so they're going to handle it in the cage. Yeah, Gilbert Burns putting it together. Still, we know we've seen him recently. We talked about him. You've seen him. I mean, the guy's just an explosive machine. Geez, almost caught Kamaru, knocked him out for the. I mean, Kamaru doesn't get stopped by one shot often. He's ended up losing that fight, but he bounced back pretty good. That amazing fight against Hamzat, and two nice wins. He just ran through Neil Magny and did good things against Masvidal. Didn't rush anything, didn't take any unnecessary risks. Just he had Masvidal. He was hitting him. He had him in trouble, but he didn't push anything or do anything wrong. Do anything. Just let Masvidal back in the fight, which is fine. Bilal Muhammad. I mean, I think everybody knows his. I mean, the guy's been an underdog in almost every fight, and he's just grinding out decision wins left and right. He's dominating fashion too. Grapple heavy, wrestle heavy approach. He finally got a knockout. He finished Sean Brady. Like a standing TKO. But his striking was never looked better. So that was a huge win for him to get this opportunity. They're fighting 5 rounds, which is intriguing because it's a non-title fight going 5 rounds as a co-main event. I don't think that's ever happened before. But yeah, I mean, Gilbert has shown he can gas, and maybe that does thing. Maybe that'll help Bilal later. But I kind of feel Gilbert Burns has the edge here, everywhere. I mean, I do think Bilal's striking has improved, but Gilbert's striking is still a little better, I think. And he just has that power, man. He's explosive. I'm going to say Gilbert's BJJ game is better than Bilal's. He may not be the best wrestler, but he's just so strong. I don't know. I don't know. The odds makers have this as a really close fight, so let's hear what you have to say, please.
It felt like a close fight when I first started looking at it. But Gilbert gets hit about as much as he lands. And I don't really see his hands improving. And like, not that his hands aren't elite, right? But I
know what you're saying.
See them getting better.
I feel they've gotten better. He's stuck with Henry Hooft for pretty much his whole career, and I think he's starting to see a lot of good things.
Yeah, the people that I know that trained with him back in the day said that's exactly what he looked like when he first started working with Henry Hooft. And the thing that you've seen is confidence. Now he has the confidence to employ those. And the moment that actually happened is when he went up to 170 and started competing in jiu-jitsu again. He stopped, he changed a couple of other things about his training, and suddenly his confidence came back.
Okay.
And then not cutting weight, he could deal with his cardio a little bit better. So here's the thing. I don't think Gilbert can take down Bilal. Bilal has a 92% takedown rate. I don't even know who took down Bilal. I want to find that out real quick, but I can't imagine it. Who it would have been? Because I know Maya didn't do it. Maybe Lyman Good did it. Maybe Chance Rencounter did it. But the dude's been in the UFC for now 7 years, 8 years. And he's fought just about everybody at this point. Right? And it's taken him forever. He's on a long ass win streak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's been 9 fights since he's lost, and then there was that no contest against Leon Edwards, where honestly, man, I thought he was going to get smashed by Leon Edwards, and he looked fucking good. Then he smashed Sean Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Smashed Sean Brady. So Bilal hits more than he gets hit. He gets tons of takedowns. He's good for more takedowns than Gilbert is. Not a ton more, but actually, it's almost even. He's good for more for 2 takedowns around. So is Gilbert. He lands a little bit more than Gilbert. I think Gilbert lands harder. I think he throws harder, but there's 0 chance that Bilal will get tired, like at all. Right. Bilal won't slow down.
No.
I don't think that Gilbert will get tired, but Gilbert might slow down.
Yeah.
Gilbert's not just going to mangle, not just going to submit him. Like when you look at the numbers, Gilbert doesn't submit people.
I don't think so. I don't think so either. I think that's pretty unlikely. But I do like the way that Gilbert has paced himself in the Wonder Boy fight and even against Masvidal. I do think he turned a corner there, and it's just like he's still learning how to pace himself. Like he kind of blew up, he said, against Usman with the adrenaline drop and going for like the finish. He dealt with a lot in that fight. He kind of didn't have anything left against Chimaev to start that 3rd round, and then he dug and battled back. But optically to the judges, it looked like he was the guy that was like completely gassed to start that 3rd round after he had that amazing 2nd round. And it ended up being, it was a great fight, but I mean, he did to do a lot mentally to tell himself, like, no, I can stay in fights. Like, I will belong. Like, I just one of the best guys in the world. Couldn't finish me. So I think that does a lot. But he paced himself, but I don't know how that translates into this, 5 rounds against Bilal. I think Gilbert's game plan should be just keep Bilal off of him and strike. That's what I would think. But, I don't know. I think that's his best chance to win.
You think Gilbert's best chance is to keep it on the feet?
Yeah, I do.
Absolutely not. Gilbert's best chance is to get down.
Nah,
Why would? I'm not saying he's going to. You think that Gilbert has you think Gilbert has more likelihood of outstriking Bilal?
I do, yeah.
Than out-grappling him?
I don't think he can out-grapple him.
The multiple-time world champion grappler.
No, I don't think he can grapple him. I think it's a waste of energy for him. I don't think he can out-grapple him. No. I think that's not going to benefit him in a 25-minute fight against a guy that doesn't get finished. I don't think that's the smart thing to do. What's his takedown defense? Like Bilal Muhammad?
92%.
93%. I guess I don't think anyone shoots on Bilal Muhammad, but because no one's really afraid of his hands, and he's kind of the wrestler. So I don't know, but I don't know. I think Gilbert wants him to. I think Gilbert wants to be the striker. He wants Bilal chasing him. He wants Bilal with tired arms and legs going to the 4th and 5th round, so the Bilal can't take him down. And I think that's where Gilbert can open up and come in striking. But yeah, I guess there's not really a clear.
5 times. Damian Maia shot on him 21 times.
I remember that fight. Yeah, I think Damian Maia got him down once or twice, but he didn't do anything with it.
Leon Edwards shot on him once. Diego Lima shot on him. It didn't go anywhere. All right, so people do shoot on him. Chance shot a couple times. Chance shot 3 times. Yeah, plenty of people have shot on him. Jordan Meehan took him down. So people can take him down, but so many more people have tried. Like the reason his statistics are so high is because Damian Maia tried to take him down 21 times.
Yeah.
Like if you take that out, I bet you his takedown defense is like 80, right? Which is good.
Yeah, it's good.
But the Damian Maia fight makes that ludicrous.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I think Bilal gets it done. I think Bilal can take down Gilbert. I don't think that he will. I think that he'll bully him against the wall. I don't think he'll take him down. I think if he does get down, Bully will let him back up. I don't think he's going to engage with him on the ground. I think he's too smart for that. And I think that Bilal has better striking than Gilbert does.
Wow. Then Bilal's got a couple clear paths to victory. Because we know Gilbert can have, even though he's turned a corner with whatever kind of pacing himself issues, it still might not be there for 25 minutes. And when he doesn't get if things don't go his way, I mean, what's he going to do when what's he going to do when he's behind on the card? Like, what will he do then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wow, interesting. So it's a close fight. It's going to be tough. I guess I'll go with Gilbert just because I've seen him fight better competition, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's the better fighter going into here. Bilal Muhammad might be just ready to beat everybody's ass. He's been hot, so I don't know. Yeah, and he's improving too, so we'll see. Maybe he's putting it all together just at the right time. All right, main event. Come on, this is all you. Go ahead, because I don't have a fucking idea. Neither do odds makers. -110 either way. Come on, who wins this fight?
Dude, it feels like pretty clear that Aljo's going to win this fight.
He's a pretty clear. It's like the hardest fight to bet of the year. They're both -110, and nobody knows.
Why
I
are
don't
they
even.
both -110?
Yeah, like how do you even make a line for this? Like I don't see how you like. It's so hard.
Why
This is
would
like
you not just assume?
this is like John Jones fighting ahead. Like how do you make a line like this? He's coming back after 3 years. All right, Henry Cejudo is definitely, from what we saw of him, he's definitely more well-rounded than Aljo.
No.
Henry Cejudo has like no holes in his game. None. No holes.
Henry Cejudo is not more well-rounded.
Yes, he is.
No, that's factual.
Oh, Jesus, that's blasphemous. Aljo is the same guy in every fight.
Henry Cejudo is not good on the ground.
He knows how to fight one style, one way, and that's it. Henry Cejudo can switch it up and do things.
I'm not telling you that Henry Cejudo doesn't have more flexibility to his approach. That's not what I'm arguing. I'm telling you that Aljamain Sterling has a more developed skill set in more places than Henry Cejudo. Henry Cejudo is amazing at strategy and adjustments. Yes. Right? So the reason that he can come out looking like a different fighter is because he has the idea that he needs to be a different fighter. Now, I agree with that. Where I think like I've seen a lot of Aljo. I think he's the same guy in every fight. He doesn't have the ability to switch gears and go to like a plan B, plan C. He was a totally different. I don't know how much. He was the same guy against Jan twice. Inaccurate. Same? No, dramatically different guy. Huh? Dramatically different guy. I think he was the same guy. He just got the takedowns easier. No. His activity was way lower in the second fight. Strategic, like intentionally. The activity was ludicrously high in the first fight on purpose. Yeah. Way higher than the activity he normally fights at because Jan fights like a computer. He tried to overload the computer. Well, it didn't work. So then they took the opposite route. Instead of overloading the computer, they unplugged the computer. They didn't give it any information. Right? So instead of him getting reads on striking and reads on wrestling, they just took his back and stole an entire round from him. Twice, yeah. Jan gave his back away twice, and Aljo took the round away. Aljo is a number of subtle but like subtle changes, but like a fork in the road they make dramatic changes. He used a similar toolkit, but you can build many things with a Phillips screwdriver and a hammer.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I
Sure.
also his wrestling, while not as credentialed as Henry Cejudo, is every bit as good. Right? He wrestled, I believe he was an All-American, Division II, I think.
Yeah.
He wrestled
I don't think. Yeah. I don't think that you have to be like all necessarily like a Division I powerhouse wrestler to be a good MMA fighter. Like at this point, when they keep learning and training, like they're excellent wrestlers. Like that's fine. Like I don't think it really translates that into that giving anybody that big of an edge. I know Cejudo was a Olympic wrestler. I think he was a gold medalist actually in wrestling. But I think I don't know. Wasn't that freestyle wrestling or more
Correct.
not
He skipped
MMA
college
wrestling?
because he wanted to go to the Olympics.
Yeah. Which
Actually, when he was in high school, he was driving 2 hours to train at the Olympic Training Center.
yeah, the guy's been a lifelong athlete. He took time off. Yeah, he just needed some time to do things. Now he wants to come back. People say he's broke. I don't know what his reasons are. I have no
He's
idea.
not, but this has always been about money. He only retired because they wouldn't pay him the money he thought he was
Okay.
earned. And this is the first opponent. This is the first time that there has been a UFC champion with any amount of name behind him, like bantamweight champion, right? Plus, if he was the last opponent was Jan, and what would he have gotten off of Jan, off of beating Jan, right? Like how much clout did Jan have? And then who was the bantamweight champion before Jan? Like that's a real question. Like I don't remember who it was. Who did Jan beat for the title? I think he beat Jose Aldo for the title.
He did. It was for interim belt. Yeah.
And then why was that vacant? I think it was vacant because of Henry.
Yeah. I don't know. That might have been it. I forget. Like I don't. He beat Dom Cruz to win a belt. And then he retired. I forget. It might have been that. Really might have been the reason. Jan was up and coming stud.
Then because Jan fought Aldo. He fought Faber, Aldo, and then Sterling. So he must have fought Aldo for a vacant.
That was
title.
definitely for the vacant belt. I don't know if it was vacant before that, switched hands, or somebody fought and drew. I don't know. Cejudo, that was 3 years ago. Was that 3 years ago? I don't even know. But who knows? There was quarantine and stuff, so maybe nobody had the bantamweight belt for like 8 months.
2020. That was 2 months after Cejudo retired.
Oh wow. Okay.
Right. So he only sat out to find a champion. He only sat out so that he could find a money fight. That's why he sat there talking the whole time.
Right.
He hit so many people. So right now he has a champion who can talk, who will do media in Aljamain Sterling, right? Who has controversy surrounding him based on the last 2 Jan fights, and people kind of don't like for whatever reason. Then, up a weight class, he has the pound for pound best fighter right now. So if he wins this fight, his next fight is against Volkanovski, where he gets to be quad C.
Right. Okay.
This is a really easy. Why is he doing this? It's not a. Oh my God, Henry Cejudo's broke. No.
No, I never thought he was broke either. He took time off to do things, maybe for whatever, and he's.
It's not. No. It's not like it's.
Started a family.
You pay me $100,000, and I think I'm worth $500,000. I will come back when you can pay me $500,000. And they said, if we can find XYZ, we can pay you $350,000. And he's like, I'll take $350,000, but I won't take $100,000. I'd rather retire. What else do I like? Why am I bothering? So like it's not even like this is a cash grab. It's that retirement was a cash grab.
All
Does
right,
that make sense?
that's true. I mean, no, it makes sense.
It was the investment in a major cash grab. Don't put damage on your body. Get a bunch of rest. Start cherry picking fights instead of just taking on the next comer in the grind all the time. Like, come back where you can hype it up. He's been chirping at. Dude, he put out a video.
Oh, he's been talking shit for anybody for 3 years,
saying that he was going to win this fight and bring the belt back to America. Do you know that Aljamain Sterling was born in America?
Yes, he wears he reps the flag of Jamaica and such. But yeah, he's from New York.
But also, Henry Cejudo's daughter is named America.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to bring the belt back home to America.
Nice. Well done, Henry. What's his? I don't even know what his fucking nickname is anymore. Is it Triple C? Is it the Messenger? What the fuck's his name?
I mean, he's Henry the Messenger, but Triple C.
I don't know. I thought he was Triple C because on the ESPN on the preview it says Triple C on TV. It says Triple C is fighting. So I don't know what the fuck.
Apology. It says the Messenger.
Yeah, I don't even know how to officially see that anywhere. Like, what nickname is he using now? Since it's been 3 years, he could be Triple C now.
I mean, he could be. We'll see. It was. Yeah. I mean, on his DVDs, it's Triple C Wrestling. Whatever. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I will say this: I think Sterling's going to be the most physically strong opponent he's ever faced. But I don't know. I don't know who wins. I have no idea. You pick who wins.
So Sterling. Sterling is substantially bigger. His wrestling is good. His kicks are going to be a problem. Like, dude, if it goes to the ground, Henry Cejudo is not equipped to deal with Aljamain Sterling on the ground. He just isn't. So he needs to keep it standing. Okay? So now, he's got 7 knockouts. Let's see. So he knocked out Dominic Cruz, which was legit. But I mean, it might have been a little early. And he knocked out Marlon Moraes, which was fucking devastating. And TJ Dillashaw. Right? So these last 3 have all been good knockouts. Decision over Mighty Mouse. Decision over Sergio Pettis, who's a world champion now. Right? Knocked out Wilson Hayes, who's like really good at jiu-jitsu. And then everything else is like decisions. Right? So he's not going to out-grapple these people. Like, he will take people down. And when you look at his numbers, he actually, on paper, is good for more takedowns than Aljamain Sterling is. But when you go and you look at where those came from, one of the fights, he got 6 takedowns against Chris Carriazo. And that was back in 2015, right? That was back when he was heavy wrestling. And then you look more modern. He only got 1 takedown against Dominic Cruz, 1 against Marlon Moraes. TJ Dillashaw was 30 seconds long. He scored 3 against Demetrius Johnson, but he couldn't do anything.
No.
He took Demetrius down, and the second he tried to hit him, Demetrius was standing again. Right? So what is he going to do if he is able to take down the Funk Master? Like, he's not going to be some big devastating threat there. I don't see. He's got to knock him out. And I don't see him landing on Aljamain Sterling like that. I think Aljo's too good. I think it's probably a decision. I don't expect Aljo to submit Cejudo, and I definitely don't think that Aljo is going to knock him out or TKO him. So this is likely a decision. I guess Henry could eke him out 3-2, but I really expect that Aljamain Sterling is going to have this fight.